From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us this Friday. Our top story, hot and dry conditions have increased fire danger in the interior as we approach the holiday weekend.
Firefighters in North Pole were busy this afternoon fighting multiple blazes in a short time span. A mobile home off of Badger Road was first reported via 911 to North Pole Fire Department. That home was almost fully involved once first responders arrived. The blaze was quickly contained, but the home was said to be completely totaled. During that first fire, another report of a large outdoor fire was called in. That one was quickly extinguished by North Star Volunteer Fire Department. Fire officials on scene urged the public to remain cautious over the next few days as fire danger remains high.
Fire danger right now is extremely high. We are in a burn suspension in the interior. Be very, very careful if you have any cooking fires this holiday weekend. Be very careful keeping in the fire pit. Do not burn any grass, do not burn any trash. Just be very careful.
With record-breaking temperatures expected tomorrow, the threat of wildfires is looming on the horizon. Mike Schultz has a report tonight on how you can protect your home and property.
Wildfires. They move at a rapid rate and overtake everything in their path. And with our current drought, high temperatures, and low humidity, the interior is primed for one at any time. What can a homeowner do to prepare and protect their residents and property? Here's State Division of Forestry official Tim Mowry with some ideas.
Well, the first thing I would say is you can go onto our website, and we have a program called FireWise that lists any number of tips and pointers to help fireproof your home. You know, whether it's putting rock gardens in places and cutting down trees within a certain distance of your house. I think it's 30 feet, not storing wood piles, you know, within a certain distance of your house. I think that one's 30 feet. And limbing trees, you know, for the first 10 or 15 feet up so that they don't have ladder fuels to climb up to the trees if something does happen. Keeping your grass well watered, you know, and not letting it grow too high. All that kind of stuff is stuff that you can do to prevent fires around your house. And I mean, having a tin roof or a shingle roof instead of a wood roof, that kind of thing.
This weekend, along with being a 3-day holiday, is expected to be hot and dry, prime for wildfires. Tim Mowry, along with the Assistant Fire Chief for the Fairbanks Fire Department, Ernie Mesowitz, want the public to know that their departments will be vigilant.
And like I said, we've got record high fuel indices, and I know it's early, it's the middle of May. You know, people don't necessarily translate that to fire season yet, but fire season is definitely upon us. Alaska is a very fire prone area, especially the interior, and fire is going to happen, and we want to do everything we can to keep it out.
Well, I think the big thing is to constantly get the education out to the people that we're in high fire danger. There are potentials for a fire to occur, and that we need to take a little bit of care when we're out enjoying the holiday weekend.
So this weekend, use common sense and be alert if a wildfire does break out. Mike Schultz reporting.
All right, when we come back, a longtime leader of the Fairbanks Hospital announced today he will be retiring, and we'll tell you who.
Also, it's time for another installment of our gardening series tips. Tonight, we'll talk about transplanting flowers and vegetables. Stay with us. And welcome back. The Fairbanks North Star Borough Assembly followed suit with the cities of Fairbanks and North Pole by approving a resolution in support of ADA's proposed purchase of Pintex Corporation. It carried 7-2, with Assembly members Janice Golub and Lance Roberts voting no. However, Roberts gained a victory of sorts earlier in yesterday's special Assembly meeting. Jamie Schwartzwald has more now in this report.
And I'd like them to get out on the street and just go talk to people. You know, you don't have to do enforcement. You can just go talk to people.
Assemblyman Lance Roberts speaking on his amendment to slash more than $123,000 from an ordinance designed to fund enforcement of the borough's new air quality control program. The amendment, which carried 5-4, did away with the purchase of a second borough sniffer vehicle that would be used for staff to respond to air quality complaints due to wood smoke violations. The vehicle would have been outfitted with equipment to help map the borough's air quality. It, as well as funding for additional garage and office space, was deemed by the Assembly too costly of an investment.
Even if you're taking it out of the general fund, money is not free. And we need to be utilizing it to help the public and solve the problem.
I think we can go out and chat with people on the first complaint, and we can do that without a sniffer vehicle. And so without having the extra sniffer vehicle, I think we can respond to complaints.
The amended ordinance passed unopposed, and funding was set at just under $22,000. Assemblyman John Davies, a primary sponsor of the ordinance that created the air quality control program, supported the amendment. He has plans for funds that were taken out of the ordinance.
My main reason is to conserve those funds for a different ordinance that would fund monitors at each of the schools.
The Assembly did leave money for the training of 2 borough employees who would run a campaign of individual visits to help educate the public on proper wood stove burning. Public comment last night supported the training.
We should have these people at least be experienced in burning wood for at least a year or more before they go out and start telling people how to burn wood.
Fairbanks Memorial Hospital and Banner Health today announced the retirement of Hospital Chief Executive Officer Mike Powers. The announcement comes just weeks after the hospital's accreditation was called into question following a joint commission audit that found improper sterilization of medical implants like plates and screws. A press release issued by the hospital on the Powers retirement did not make mention of the audit. His retirement will be effective July 1st, and an interim leader will be named June 10th. Powers will continue in his current role until that person is identified. Powers was hired as the hospital CFO in 1986 and was promoted to CEO of FMH in 1995. In the release, President of Banner Health's Western Division, Jim Fernando, thanked Powers for his years of service.
Tonight in our Gardening Tips installment, we learn more about transplanting new flowers for the upcoming summer.
Hi, welcome back to Gardening Tips. This is Stephen Seifelt with the Cooperative Extension Service, and today we're going to be talking about transplanting. When you transplant seedlings, this is the time to be doing it. You want to make sure that the pots that they're in are wet and the roots are wet and moist, because it's stressful to take them out of the pot and put them in another pot or put them out into your garden. So make sure everything's nice and moist. If you buy stuff like here at the Hometown Nursery, these plants have had pretty good sunlight. They've been watered pretty well. They've also gone through a little bit of drought stress. They're pretty toughened, and pretty much you can put them out into your yard in the afternoon when the sun's down. For your plants that you've been growing indoors where they haven't had any wind and they haven't had good sunshine on them, you might, before you do the transplanting, take them outside for an hour or two every day, a little bit longer for 3 or 4 days, until about after 5 days you can keep them out almost all day. Then do the transplanting. That'll toughen them up, it'll make them hardier, and you should have great success in all those plants surviving. That's it for today. Join us next week when Darcy Echeverry will talk about pests in the greenhouse. Thanks for joining us.
Gardening Tips, brought to you by Fairbanks Stump Grinders and by Midnight Sun Family Medicine.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with footage from day 1 of the high school track and field regional championships.
Also, it was opening night at the North Pole Speedway on Thursday. Joe has all of that and more after the break. Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here this Friday evening with a loaded local sportscast. This afternoon at West Valley High School, the Region 6 Track and Field Championship started its first day of action. Today there were finals in the field events and prelims in the hurdles and sprint races. Today was also the 3,200 meter finals in the boys race. Galena's Caleb Corda literally ran away with the overall win, finishing in 9 minutes 49 seconds. Unofficially, he earned the 3A title. For the 4A title, Lathrop's Logan Maury closes strong, breaking away from West Valley's Spencer Heron for the win in 10 minutes 10 seconds. In the girls race, Delta Junction's Victoria Jocelyn, an Oklahoma Baptist signee, won the 3A title. Lathrop's Autumn Fournier had the kick of her life on the home stretch, holding off defending champion Jinder DeFalco of West Valley. Fournier wins with an unofficial time of 11 minutes 41 seconds, and Lathrop sweeps the 3,200 meter region titles.
Well, I've never done a kick like that before. That was definitely hard. I've never put so much effort into the end of a race before, but it was good. She had me scared.
Well, Spencer's a really fast athlete, and he's really good at just keeping a fast pace. And in my past races, I've been way more inconsistent on my speed throughout the race. So I just told myself I was going to draft off him and kick it on that last lap, and it worked. So.
Thursday night featured an entertaining night of racing at the North Pole Speedway. 4 different classes were on display for the season opener. New Chevy Corvette opened the main event races, and Lance Mackey, the local mushing legend, made an appearance as well. He even raced in one of the heats in the Legends class. On the lighter side, 9-year-old girl Delaney Ott beat big brother Riley in the quarter midgets race. There was a lawnmower class. Can you believe that? Stephen Alt won all 3 races with his old school Craftsman mower. In the Legends class, defending champion Al Treadle came out on top, winning 2 heats in the main event to start his title defense. The Bandos class had the most interesting winner. Steve Hunter, last year's runner-up, swept the Bandos races despite numerous mechanical issues. He had to start his car with a screwdriver.
I accidentally broke off one of the plugs to the starter button, so put a screwdriver on the solenoid and started it. It was pretty awesome. I drove most of the main event with one hand, burnt my hand pretty good on the car. Touched the header.
Oh no! Well, I'm just listening to all the guys and taking all the pointers I can from them and trying to apply it on the track and not hit the wall. So
yeah, to get the first win down, I was wondering what the other competition was doing. I don't know if their tires were not broken but it ran good, the old 43.
And the high school kids got back on the baseball diamond on Thursday night. First up is Lathrop taking on Monroe at Groudon Memorial Park. Lathrop's Wyatt Berg, he provides the highlight here with a 2-run homer. In the first inning, Berg led a Malamutes team who had 8 batters get hits in that opening inning. The Malamutes, they went up as much as 12-0 at one point. 3 Lathrop pitchers held the Rams to just 5 hits. The Malamutes, they win this non-conference matchup 19-3. Lathrop improves to 8-0 in the MAC, and they'll face West Valley on Saturday at 5 o'clock with seeding on the line for the first MAC baseball tournament starting next week. Allison won a nail-biter over Delta Junction in baseball on Thursday night. John Bard scored the winning run on a Huskies error for the Allison Ravens, who went 9-8 in 7 innings. Jeremiah Brown led the Ravens attack, going 4 for 5 with 3 runs scored in the win. The Hutchinson Hawks went up against the Lathrop Malamutes in girls soccer on Thursday night. A Hawks team was limited with players hurt with injuries. And Lathrop's Carly Fitzgerald put salt in the wound with 3 goals in the first half for the hat trick. Lathrop took the 3-0 lead into halftime. The Malamutes tacked on 2 more goals in the second half. Michaela Triphorn recorded the shutout, and Lathrop wins this one 5-0 for Hutch. Lathrop, they will face West Valley in their season finale on Saturday. In boys soccer, the North Pole Patriots face the Allison Ravens. Garrett Woolman and Christian Baker scored 2 goals apiece for North Pole. They had 5 other players score goals. Andrew North did put one in net for Allison, but the Patriots win this one 9-1. The Patriots, they will face West Valley tonight in their season finale. In other soccer games on Thursday night, Lathrop will get the sweep as the boys team also shuts out Hutch with a 6-0 victory. Zach Kosa led Lathrop with 2 goals. 4 Lathrop seniors scored goals in their senior night win. Lathrop will play West Valley this Saturday to wrap up the season. And now we bring you the play of the week after your votes were counted. The play comes from West Valley. Cheyenne Hendry displays some nice concentration and hand-eye coordination, staying with it, getting the fly ball, and gets the out against Palmer with a double catch. It's going to come right back here in slow motion. That kind of defense from Hendry was key as Wolfpack, they beat Palmer 17-3 last Saturday. To vote for the next play of the week, watch for the I-5 Interior Top 5 plays on Mondays during the weekend recap. A final but disappointing note: despite wonderful weather, the GFRA announced this afternoon that they will not have races this weekend due to soft spots on the track that race officials have deemed unsafe for racing. They're going to try again next weekend. But that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with weather, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Fairbanks Evening News Friday edition. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather, and we are getting ready for a fantastic week, and it's going to be just amazing. Record-breaking temperatures expected tomorrow, then cooling off for Sunday and warm back up again Monday. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Here's what our photograph looks like now. Another beautiful shot. This one's sent in by Robert Marzak. Yet another great Fairbanks sunset. Look at the colors, gorgeous pinks and oranges, and a nice silhouette on the background there. And if you have a photograph that you want to share, well, please send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Here's our numbers for today. Today's high 78, currently 77. The low last night 45. Record high 1963, 84 degrees. The record low 26 in 1933. Your sunrise and sunset, not quite 19 and a half hours of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. On the satellite radar, a little bit of moisture coming in across the southwest portion of the state. That's not going to give us any kind of weather at all, because high pressure continues to dominate the entire interior, once again keeping all the moisture off to the south and to the west. And that's going to continue through the weekend, maybe start to back off a little bit on Monday, but right now things look really good, like I said, for the weekend. Here's your state map today, what's going on. Nice day in Juneau, 71 degrees there. Some partly cloudy skies at Ketchikan. Little shower activity around the Anchorage Bowl, 65 degrees. More showers for Kodiak, 48. 48 also at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, partly cloudy to clear skies. And a nice day in Nome, 57 degrees. First time I've seen a nice warm temperature like that. Barrow at 37 degrees, and Fort Yukon, very comfortable, 72 degrees. Lower 48 weather. We'll head on over the Pacific Northwest and show you that rain is falling once again across the Seattle area. Nice weather up and down the west coast. More thunderstorms rumbling across parts of Texas. This is going to be a real mess here because they've already got flooding going on around Wichita Falls, Texas, and more rain is expected. They had 4.5 inches of rain in 1 hour period yesterday in the Wichita Falls area. Also some rain falling around Minneapolis. Over the deep south, cooling off a little bit for New Orleans. Very warm and humid at Miami, 91 degrees there. And Washington, D.C., 79 with 75 at New York. On the satellite and radar, a big blowout of moisture here moving across. And there's where the rain was falling so heavily yesterday. And you can see the flow is once again bringing more possibility of flooding there. While out to the west, things are for the most part not too bad. Some scattered afternoon shower activity, mainly along the Sierra Nevadas there. On the outlook for tonight and, well, actually for today and tonight, you can see strong storms once again across West Texas. Flash flooding, a big problem for Oklahoma and the Texas border, and spotty thunderstorms elsewhere. And the new jet stream for early next week showing once again a lot of moisture coming across and being ramped up across the eastern half of the country, which means not much relief for the central portion of the country, more thunderstorms over the east. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow, the northern sections. Here's what it looks like, mostly sunny skies for Barrow, decreasing clouds for Nome, and that flood warning is still in effect until 11:15 tomorrow morning for you folks in the Fort Yukon area. Still some widespread flooding going on, so we got to keep an eye on that. That Porcupine River just won't go down yet. And as far as the interior tomorrow, well, record warmth for all areas, including Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta Junction. While over the southeastern sections, it looks like partly cloudy skies, some isolated thunderstorm activity for Juneau and Ketchikan. Over to the southwest, we're looking at mainly showers changing to rain in Cold Bay, rain likely for Kodiak, and more showers for Bethel. And if you head on down to Anchorage, they're even getting some showers again tomorrow, rain showers at Anchorage, rain in Homer, and scattered clouds for Valdez, so kind of a wet, sloppy weekend there. Here's your forecast for the overnight low tonight, 50 degrees, very warm, scattered clouds. Tomorrow's forecast, there it is, sunny with record high temperatures, expecting 85. It could be warmer in some areas. And the extended forecast calling for the temperatures to cool down dramatically on Sunday, and then slowly warm back up again after a chance of some showers on Monday. And then overnight lows will once again be starting off pretty warm and then slowly cool down a little bit, and no more rain after Monday. But boy, I'll tell you what, tomorrow is going to be a cooker, guys.
No, not having it.
That is so good.
That looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Thank you, Mike. Yep. Wonderful. Okay, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us, but before we go,
we can now announce the winner of the Bailey Spring Green giveaway. The winner of a $2,500 package is Orville Balaam.
I hope we're pronouncing the name right. Yeah. I'll tell you what, our office will be getting in touch with you, Orville, with you next week to get your prize. And once again, congratulations.
Right, yeah. Congrats, man. Sounds really good. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the city of Santa Barbara, California is devastated as a massive oil spill. Cleanup continues. That's next with Lester Holt.
All right, and before we go, of course, we want to make sure to mention that our Production assistant Brandon, this is his last day with us, and so we want to say a big thank you to Brandon. Yay!
Yeah, thanks for everything. Thanks
He's
for all your
done
help.
a really great job. He's behind the camera,
Very good. And we're going to leave you tonight with video of the American flag as a reminder that this is Memorial Day weekend. We could not and should not forget those who sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Please try to make it to Veterans Park Monday at 10 a.m. for the special service there. Have a safe weekend, and we'll be back to see you here at 11.